Now we're on to number 6. Mr. West has 13 students in his science class and wants to raise money for a field trip. They need to raise $437.35. They have already raised $132.50 at a car wash. How much more money would each of the students need to raise? Okay, so they need $437.35. They already have raised $132. So how much more tells you one operation, right? So how many more is I'm taking what they need and what they have, taking away what they have to figure out what's left. So how much more tells me I'm subtracting, and then would each of the students need to raise? So they have how many students? They have 13 students. All right, and I'm taking the money that they have left to raise and I'm separating it between those 13 students. So this each is actually telling me I'm going to divide. Okay, so this is a two-step problem where we first find out how much more money they have to raise and then we divide it among the 13 students. So press pause and keep going. All right, so number 7, if rectangle ABCD is similar to WXYZ, what is, and the scale factor is 3/2, find the dimensions, okay? So scale factor is that key word. That means we just need to multiply, okay? So if I am looking here at side AD, that's going to correspond with the long side, right? So I have 3, and scale factor means multiply, so times 3/2. You put a 1 under it to make it a whole number, so 3 times 3 is 9. 1 times 2 is 2. So if I divide 9 by 2, I'll get my answer for here. Then I'm going to do the same thing over here with the shorter side. So the shorter side, my dimension is 2, and I'm going to multiply that again by my scale factor. Okay, so problem number 8. It says a building is 21 feet tall and its shadow is 10.5 feet long. At the same time, a tree's shadow is 3 feet long. How tall is the tree? Okay, so I'm going to draw a picture because that is super helpful. Okay, so a building is 21 feet tall and its shadow is 10.5 feet long. Then I have this tree that has a shadow of 3 feet long, and we want to know the height of the tree. Okay, so this is like similar shapes and figures. We're going to set up a proportion where you can do actual over shadow. All right, this one here tells us on number 9, the perimeter of the figure below is 26 feet. What is the length of side X? Okay, the length of side X. So perimeter is the distance around it. Okay, so 4.5 and 4.3, and this line means that these two are equal. So and 4.3 and 4.5 and X give me 26. Perimeter is adding all the sides together. All right, so once we find out what all of these sides are together, we can take that from 26 to get our X value. Number 10, Mr. Cannon is purchasing 2 pounds of meat that cost $2.80 each. How much change should Mr. Cannon receive if he gives the cashier $20? All right, so he's getting 2 pounds of meat that cost $2.80 per pound. Per means multiply, right? how much change if he gives $20, all right? So we need to figure out how much his meat costs, so then we can take the $20 and do what? Change means subtract how much the meat cost to then get how much money he gives back, right? So I go to the store, I give the cashier money to pay for what I'm needing, and then they give me change back. Number 11, on a blueprint, the scale indicates that 6 centimeters represents 15 feet. What is the length of a room that is 72 centimeters long? Okay, so they're giving us the scale, and it says 6 centimeters represents 15 feet. When they give us a scale, we set up the proportion, and we keep our scale together. So I have 6 centimeters represents 15 feet. You cannot break up that scale. Then it says, what is the length of the room that is 7.2 centimeters long? All right, so we need the length, and we keep our centimeters together, and then we can fill in our missing dimension with X. You guys know how to solve your proportion pros. All right, number 12. A hockey puck that has a height of 2.5 centimeters. What is the height of 7 hockey pucks? So there's 7 hockey pucks. And it says one is 2.5 centimeters, and it wants this whole dimension. Okay? All right, number 13. In order to find 4/5 of 3/7, you would blank. All right, so all I can do here is help you think of what is the key word of mean. All right, triangle, number 14. Whoa, okay. Triangle ABC and XYZ are similar. Which proportion can be used to find the length of BC? Okay, so it's letters and numbers, but we just need to make sure we know our corresponding sides, right? So AB is this one just above the right angle. It starts at the right angle. So I'm looking, I have my right angle and it goes up. So these two sides correspond, which means then that this is opposite of the diagonal side. So this is opposite of the diagonal side, right? Because we have ZY and CB, right? And then we had AB and XY. So your letters can help you find corresponding sides. So now that you have your corresponding sides labeled, you should be able to find the proportion. We're just looking at the proportion to find the length of BC. So we are definitely using this squiggled side. All right, number 15. Trapezoid WXYZ is similar to ABCD. What is the length of side WX? So you want to find the length of side WX. Okay, so just pay attention to the fact that this has the long side on top of the trapezoid. The long side is on the bottom of the trapezoid. So make sure that you're paying attention to which numbers you choose to use. So you can either use the long sides or you can use the short sides, your choice. But if we're finding them, remember that similar shapes are proportional. So you're going to be setting up a proportion to solve for X. Number 16, Isaiah is building a scale model of the Eiffel Tower. The height of the actual Eiffel Tower is 1,063 feet. If he uses a scale of 1 inch to 50 feet, what will be the height of Isaiah's model? So the actual is 1,063 feet. He's using a scale of 1 inch represents 50 feet. That's my scale, so make sure we keep it together. And we want to know the height of the model. So we know if they give us a scale, we're going to set up a proportion, and we keep this 1 inch to 50 feet together. And then we figure out if it goes on the top or the bottom based on the dimension type. Number 17, triangle ABC and ADE are similar. Use the image below to find the length of segment EC. Okay, so for problems like this, I go ahead and break up my triangles because I think it's much easier. Yeah, my triangles aren't perfect, but that's okay. All right, so if I look at this small triangle here, I have 3 and 4. I look at this big triangle, let's see, the bottom is 6. And then, wowza, I need this whole side for my big triangle, but I don't have that yet. So I'm going to put a question mark, okay? So I'm going to put this question mark, and then once I find this question mark, then I can use the fact that from, oopsies, goodness gracious, no idea what happened, hang on. Okay, it's back. So I can use the fact that this piece here is 3, and this little piece here are x. Those together make this question mark. Okay, so we're going to solve our proportion first to find our question mark, right? So let's see if I do the small triangle 3 over 4. And I did the long side, short side, so long side, short side. Then once I find question mark, then I can use the 3. I can take this 3 away to find my x value. All right, number 18. It says triangles CDM are similar to ABM. What is the value of x? So again, just pay attention to see these angles. So it means that it's a mirror image. This triangle here is flipped with this triangle here. So if we know that it's similar and we want the value of x, similar means that these two shapes are proportional. So we're going to set up a proportion. 19. The 17 students on the math team, want to raise $432.60 to buy practice books. They have already raised $218. How much more money must the math team raise? Okay, so we're looking for how much more for the whole team. Okay, Joan and Carrie are building a doghouse. Okay, Joan built 2/5 of the doghouse and Carrie built 1/3. What is the fraction that they have built together? Okay. Number 21. It says, what is the product of 32.4 and 0.9? So keyword product will tell you all you need to know. All right, number 23, Mrs. Froth's 4th period voted on the color they should paint the slide on the playground. Results are shown. What fraction is yellow? Okay, so we know that this whole pie graph represents 100% or one whole. And so if we find out this part, then we can take that away to get the yellow. What's left for the yellow? Okay, number 24, which of the following could not be classified as an integer? So remember, an integer is a positive or negative whole number that can be found on a number line. Number 25, a submarine in the Pacific Ocean is at a depth of 245 feet. What is the depth after it ascends? Okay, so we're down here at a depth. We're in the ocean. So here we are in the ocean at negative 245 feet. We're ascending, meaning we're going